Hello, everybody. Welcome back. I'm Kurt Roth, and this is another episode of the 505 Sports Venture Foundation, where we talk about the impact of name, image, and likeness on college sports across the country, and specifically here in New Mexico. We also have all sorts of other subjects to talk about, and we'll do that today. We're going to focus on basketball, not just UNM basketball, which we will talk about, but I have a really special guest that I'm looking forward to putting on the show. Some of you old timers will know who this guy is. We're laughing. We're all getting to be old timers, but a name that's very familiar to Albuquerque sports fans, basketball fans, and sports fans in general. Anyway, okay, guys, it's really a pivotal time in NIL. For those of you who follow it, we've got this house case going on in federal court that's nearing a settlement. And what everyone's playing for going ahead in July is that now the universities can pay the students directly for their name, image, and likeness. And you probably see some fantastic numbers because the P4 schools are fighting up against, in essence, a cap. The settlement allows schools to pay almost $20 million per year to student athletes as part of revenue sharing, they call it. Well, guess what? At UNM, we are not going to push the $20 million limit. In fact, we probably won't get half of that. So 505 SVF will take on a different role, but a really important role in the NIL area. We're going to be a fiduciary with UNM. We're going to be out doing grassroots fundraising. So we still need your help. I'd love you to give me $100,000, but if you got $1, we'll take it. So it's 505sports.org. Follow the prompts. It's easy to make a small donation, and we really need your help. 505sports.org. Hold on. We'll be right back with our guests after a couple of these ads. Stay with us.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Mirror here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Got shots. Got shots. Got shots.
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm Kurt Roth, and again, this is the 505 Sports Venture Program, where we come to you weekly to talk about name, image, and likeness, and whatever else is going on that impacts the University of New Mexico or our audience in general. We're always time limited, so I want to get right to it. We got a very special guest. Let me introduce him right away, AJ Bramlett. AJ,
how you doing,
thanks
sir?
for being.
I appreciate it.
All right, guys, us old timers, and we're laughing about it. You know, like the 80s it's a long time ago. The 90s, like
Yeah.
what's going on? For those of you who are familiar, you know AJ was at La Cueva High School state champion. We'll talk about some of his battles with Kenny Thomas, who's been a regular on our show, a friend of the program. And then, of course, an illustrious career at the University of Arizona, national champs, 1 year, Sweet 16, Elite 8, drafted by the Cleveland Cavaliers, and then following up the NBA with a 8 or 9 year career
Yeah, 9
overseas,
years.
right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So we got the basics. We'll get to all of that. You're in Albuquerque now. What are you doing?
Yeah, so I'm a regional general manager. I work for Playfly Sports, same as UNM, same company that handles the UNM contracts and things like that. I try to raise funds for the New Mexico Activities Association, so we're the governing body for high school sports. I just marry businesses that want to be in front of the high school sports community, want to support student athletes across the state, and put their brand on the big stage in front of our whole New Mexico community.
Yeah, well, we at 505 work closely with Playfly.
Yeah.
They're in-house at UNM also.
Correct.
So if you go to the pit or you go to a football game or basically anywhere, the ads that are up are all sold through Playfly. They do the broadcast. They take care of all that. So they're an integral part. Well, great. How long you been back here now in Albuquerque?
I got back here. I retired in 2009.
Okay,
I've
so you've been
here
back.
since
You're
then. Yep.
regular. It's your home.
Absolutely.
You came back and family, the whole deal. We know all about that. All right. So let's start. You go to La Cueva, and people still complain. Why wasn't AJ and Kenny on the Lobos? Why would that been? Well, let's talk about what was your recruiting like?
Yeah, I mean, I was recruited by a lot of schools. I mean, Kenny and I played together in the summertime for New Mexico Flight, so we were on the same AAU team. We ended up winning a BCI tournament the summer before our senior year and beat everybody in the nation, Dallas, New York City, New York Riverside,
right?
All these teams. And so we all started getting recruited at a high D1 level. I'm originally from Illinois, so I spent summers in Illinois playing and living with my dad. So I was recruited by a lot of Midwest schools, Wisconsin, Michigan, and then I'd be here during the school year. So it really came down for me though to New Mexico or Arizona, and that's the way it was. I mean, I only went on 2 official visits to UNM and to U of A. So I really knew it was either one of those schools, and in the end, Coach
What tipped it?
Coach Olson. I mean, when Lou Olson comes to your house and sits down in your living room, with your parents and tells you, "I want you." Next year, we got a guy, Mike Bibby, that's coming in. This is the number 1 point guard in the nation, and I think we're going to be really good.
Yeah.
And we see you as a key part of it.
Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Lou Olson. Obviously, his record speaks for himself. All right. So you show up in Tucson, a freshman. What was that team like?
Our first year team was great. I mean, we made it to the Sweet 16 that year, but I had 2 NBA guys ahead of me, Ben Davis and Joseph Blair.
Wow.
That were the big guys. So that was a year of just getting beat up, man. To be honest, I still made all honorable mention all freshman team that year, but I averaged like 2 points a game. I played a lot of big games. My first month, we were playing in Madison Square Garden. Played against Michigan in the semifinals with Tractor Trailer and all those guys, and then in the final against Allen Iverson in Georgetown. And so we went from unranked that year to number 3 in the country in about 2.5 weeks.
Wow,
which was crazy.
Well, that must have been wild. So that's a great experience.
Oh, yeah.
Freshman, you're playing at the highest level, and now people don't understand it because you were pretty much locked in to Arizona. Right. If you were to transfer, you had to sit out a year.
Right.
So you had to sit out. It's not like now where these guys.
No, it's not.
We've got, and we'll get to that. We've got six guys playing 6 years, with COVID or injury year, 4 schools, and making a lot of money. And we'll get to that.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys ultimately won a national championship. What? I mean, and you played a huge role.
Oh yeah. I mean,
so what was that like?
It was incredible, and we started off that year kind of rough. Like, we were young, we had no seniors on that team, so Mike Bibby was a freshman. Myself and Jason Terry were sophomores.
Jason Terry, there's a name, NBA guy.
Miles Simon and Michael Dickerson were juniors, and then we had Bennett Davison as well, who's a junior. And so, it took us a while to get there. We finished 5th in the Pac-10 that year, back when it was the Pac-10.
Right.
We had 9 losses. No Arizona team up to that point had ever had 10 losses. So going into the tournament that year, everyone was down on our team. This is the worst team Arizona's ever had. Like, they're going to be flame out in the first round, all that. And then, we just kind of caught fire. We lost the last 2 games of the Pac-10, but we played well, lost on the last second shots both games in the Bay Area that trip. And then went into the tournament, was down 10 in the first round to South Alabama, came back and won. Was down 10 again with about 4 minutes left to go to College of Charleston, beat them, and then, we're on to Kansas in the Sweet 16, and, we're knocking
All right,
those guys off.
hold on to that. We're gonna come back. I want to hear the rest of. We're in the Sweet 16. I mean, the names Terry and Bibby, and for old NBA guys. I mean, that's just great. So, all right, we're here with AJ Bramlett. We already heard how he almost played with Kenny.
Almost.
And we're going to take a break. We're going to come back and go through the Sweet 16 to the championship. Stay with us, please.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
Hey everybody, welcome back. 505 Sports Venture Foundation program. I'm Kurt Roth with our very special guest, AJ Bramlett, La Cueva grad, New Mexico resident, and we're talking about the old days, the pre-NIL days. All right, so we left off. You guys have come back in 2 games. You're in the Sweet 16. What happens next?
Yeah, so, I mean, the Sweet 16 matchup, maybe we played against number 1 Kansas. They had been number 1 all year. They were 34-1, I believe, at the time, with Rafe LaFrentz, Paul Pierce, all those guys, Scott Pollard, and no one gave us a shot in that game. But I'm telling you that we knew we were going to win that game from right when we got matched up with them. They had knocked us out of the tournament the year before, so we were, we had wanted some get back on that, and it was just an incredible game, man. I mean, we were up, 12 maybe with 2 minutes to go, and they came all the way back and had a 3 to almost tie it, and we knocked off the Giant that year.
Wow.
Incredible.
Where was that?
That was in Birmingham, Alabama.
Okay, so now you're in the Elite 8. Who's your matchup?
Providence. So we had Sham God, Ruben Garces, Jamel Thomas. I know you know those guys, the East Coast guys. Yeah. Jamel's one of my really good friends, actually. Good dude. So is Ruben. And they were tough, man. And they had a shot to win it in regulation at the buzzer. Their point guard took an ill-advised 3, in my opinion, and missed. We went to overtime, and we got them in overtime to go to the Final Four.
You knock off the Friars, and now you're headed to the Final Four.
Yep.
Where was that?
That was in Indianapolis, RCA Dome.
One of the best places to play. All right, so who's your semifinal at matchup?
So we had started off the year against the same team. So it was North Carolina, Vince Carter, Anton Jameson, Dean Smith, all those guys, and we had beat them the first game of the year. So it was the second time we had played them, and it was incredible. I mean, just the hype of that game. They came out fast. We got down, I think, 10 early. Vince had like 3 alley-oop dunks, reverse dunk, all kinds of stuff. And we were struggling, but, Mike Bibby got hot in that game, had a great game, hit, I think, 5 or 6 threes in that game and we were able to fight them and get that victory.
Well, was that now, college basketball, it seems like a long season, but obviously you play pro ball. It's even with the tournament, you're playing half the games.
Yeah.
Now, you played North Carolina in the opener.
Right.
What's the difference 4 months later? I mean, it's a different teams, basically, almost. I mean, the personnel is the same, but you've gone through. Is there an adjustment? Like, what was different about the second time?
I mean, there's familiarity a little bit. You know what I mean? So not to leave Vince open for backdoor dunks, but he still did it, still made some. But, we were both really good teams. We were a totally different team. Like, I was playing much better. Like, it took me a little while to get going the sophomore year. All of us were playing just at a much higher level than the first time we played them.
Right.
And they had ran through the ACC. Like, they had a really good season, just kind of dominating everybody. And so I think, they knew that we were a threat because we'd already knocked them off. But I think they were supremely confident. Shaman Williams, I don't know if you remember Shaman.
Sure.
He was a good friend of mine. He came to my hotel room the night before the game.
Really?
And we were sitting in there chopping it up, and he was like, "Yeah, man, we go get you guys tomorrow." I was like, "It's not going to happen, Shaman." And so we were able to go out there and win. That was a huge victory for us.
Pre-game nerves?
You know what? And this is the thing. Like, when I think about it now, I'm like, how the hell do we do that? But like in the moment,
nah,
you're not thinking about. Like, we weren't thinking
just
about
another game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
a
now
big game,
yeah,
bigger stage,
right,
but a game. You're
right.
playing basketball.
It was
excitement. Could be playing in the park.
Right. It was
Yeah,
exciting.
that's what champions tell me.
Yeah.
It's like the moment is. It's fun to think about, but that's not what goes on. The ball goes
Right.
up, doesn't matter. All right, so you knock off the Tar Heels. Final game.
Yep. Kentucky.
Why not?
Rick Pitino. I mean, obviously.
He's still pissed off.
Yeah, I can't. I'd love to talk to him about it.
You could have a chance.
He's a hell of a coach. But Rick Pitino. They had Ron Mercer, Jamal McGlure.
Oh, good grief.
Nazi Mohammed, Scott Padgett. All those guys. And they were on a run. They had won it the year before. We knocked them off. We're able to get them. We had a shot in overtime to tie the game. It was a back and forth game the whole way. They pressed us. That's one thing I will remember is they were pressing everyone that year. They started pressing us the first half, and Mike Bibby just
killed them.
I mean, killed it. Dribbled through it, passed through it, and they got out of it. And we said when they got out of it, we said, all right, we got we got these guys. And so we went to overtime in that game too. Jamal Epps hit a 3 to tie it up, and then his free throws. I fouled out, so I was out for most of the overtime, which sucked. But my backup Donnell Harris came in, knocked down some big free throws, and that was it, man.
And so you're in Indy.
Yeah.
National champ.
Yeah.
And you 19, 20?
Yeah.
What was that like?
Literally, we went to Steak and Shake after the game. It was the only thing that was open.
Right.
It was rainy and cold in Indy. The thing I'll remember is being at the RCA Dome and, Coach Olsen, when they bring the Sears Trophy in, the big crystal trophy.
Right.
And he had a press conference with the fans and everything. And I'll never forget just looking at that trophy and looking at Coach and, just how thankful that we were the ones to give him his one championship, because should have had more, had opportunities to have more, but we're the ones that got it done for him. And, he always held us in such high regard, forever after that.
Forever, right. No doubt about it. People now don't remember the struggles, the upsets.
Yeah.
You got Arizona had a couple of tough losses early in his career.
Right.
I mean, a powerhouse. Old guys like me remember when Arizona was in the WAC,
Right.
and we played them
Yep.
twice a year, and Arizona State, and they had Freddie the Fox Snowden
Yep.
coaching the team, and those were battles. Bob Elliott and Eric Money,
Yeah.
and so we go a long way back. But great. I mean, people here are still mad at Lute for stealing you,
Yeah.
and I'm blanking on the other kid he took too. The guy who became a doctor, I think. I can't remember.
I'm trying to
his name.
think.
Yeah, but they called him Midnight
Midnight
Lute.
Lute, I remember. Oh, that was Sean Mill, or Chris Mills.
Was it Chris Mills?
Mills.
He
It was
stole
Chris Mills,
everybody, but one of the greatest coaches of all time.
Absolutely.
And everyone who I know who played for him just loved the guy. So
he was
great
tough
guy.
on you while you were there, but afterwards, I mean, you know, he expected a lot out of you, but he was like, you know, second father to me until the
Awesome.
day he passed.
All right. We got one more segment. We got to talk some NIL. We got to talk some NBA. Stay with us. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back. I'm here with our special guest in studio, AJ Bramlett. We're talking a little off camera about my beloved Knicks, and we'll get there in a second. So, as you just heard, we win Arizona, the Wildcats win the national championship, beat 3 number 1 seeds on the way there. Never been done before or since.
That's right.
Okay. So now, no one graduates. Next year, everybody comes back. But let's imagine for a second there's NIL. You're the national champions. You've got All-Americans. You got guys who could dominate. And, like, what would it have been like?
I think about it all the time now. I mean, you know, there's no way that I don't think that we would have had our whole team back. Absolutely not. Miles Simon was the only one that thought about leaving to try to go to the NBA draft that year.
Right.
Because he had a great tournament.
Right.
He was MVP of the tournament and all that. But I just don't think it would have happened. Like, I think we all would have been at different schools, or Arizona would have had to pay us a ton of money.
Pony up,
You know
right?
what I mean?
Right.
Which is great. And that's the thing nowadays. Like, I'm happy for these guys that they're able to capitalize on their athletic talents and what they're been working on their whole entire lives to get to this point. They should be compensated, and so I felt it always should have been like that. But you know, now that this generation is getting to benefit from it, it's something that I'm really, really happy for these guys.
I couldn't agree more. We get a lot of pushback. I don't like it. And there's more transition. Let's face it. But it's happened in all the professional sports. Slowly but surely, the players have gained the rights.
Yeah.
I mean, the arenas are filled.
Right.
The season tickets, you can't buy them.
Yeah.
I mean, let's face it. Here at UNM, 17-3 in the conference.
Yeah.
The last 6 or 7 games are sold out, and why? Who's the product?
Yeah.
I mean, it's these guys on the court. And another thing that I'm grateful for the kids, and I'm grateful for our involvement in it, is 2 things. In New Mexico, the fans then can be part of the solution.
Absolutely.
They can, in essence, buy stock in the Lobos.
Right.
But the other thing is, most of these guys now college basketball is different than football. You can have a career outside the NBA.
Right.
But most of these guys won't make
Yeah.
much money at basketball.
Right.
Most of them won't. So they have an opportunity. They're drawing the crowds. The television contracts are off the charts. I mean, I can't even remember anymore the NCAA tournament contract is 5 years, multiple billions of dollars.
Yeah.
So why can't the kids make some
Right.
money? I mean,
They absolutely should. I mean, and even like when I was in college, I mean, they were selling my jersey and Jason Terry's jersey in the store right outside of McHale. Right. Didn't have our names on it, but it was our numbers, and they knew it was us.
That's who it was. Right.
And we generated a ton of revenue, and we changed how the university is looked at. Like, Arizona without that national championship is not Arizona what it is
Exactly.
today.
Well,
right?
that's our message here at UNM.
Right.
enrollment goes up when teams go far. There's a whole section of college students who pick schools for more than just academics. It's, kids want to go to University of Michigan. They have incredible tailgates and 110,000 people in the football stadium. You come to the Lobo game, you sit in the student section now, you're going to see a competitive team.
Yeah.
So, and we're going to keep that going here. 505sports.org. Help us out. Coach Olin's filling in the roster. Let's go. Give us a hand. All right. So college ball, we got a few minutes left. You're in NBA. You play in the NBA. You watch the NBA.
Yeah.
What do you think so far of the playoffs?
Oh, they've been incredible. And, I thought the regular season this year was one of the most boring regular seasons that I'd seen in a long time. And, I'm a huge NBA fan, and, I wasn't as engaged this year. But these playoffs have been incredible. I mean, every round, incredible games. You talked about your Knicks. I'm a big Knicks guy, too. I think the NBA is better when the Knicks are good. So,
it's been a while.
The atmosphere is insane, though. I mean, the fans are. I just love watching them play. And Brunson, what he's doing is
it's
just
unbelievable.
magical.
You wonder, Dallas just got lucky and pulled
That's
one
crazy.
out, and they got flagged. They traded away Brunson and Luka.
Right.
What are you thinking? And you did mention one thing that most fans don't know, NBA fans, because they don't go in arena outside the town they live in. Madison Square Garden is the last old gym left. That place was a modern place in 1967 when it was built. It's the same. You sit in the upper deck and you're afraid your head's hitting the ceiling. It's an old gym. It's got it's NBA, but it's got a feel like the other stadiums are big. They've got restaurants and arcades, and this place that I can only imagine. I haven't been there for the playoffs this year. It's incredible to play in that gym.
I played in it, like I said, my first month of my college career, and I said I made the right choice. This is incredible.
Yeah. So all right. So we like the Knicks. I don't care that Tatum went down.
Yeah.
I see this. The Knicks, I think, are going to have to win Friday night in the Garden, and it'll be a war. I think the Celtics are going to pick up their game. I love the Celtics tonight.
I do too.
I just think
they're going to play
they're going to
well.
put it together and win one at least to go out. Who do you like to win the whole thing?
I like OKC. I think, but you can't bet against Anthony Edwards in Minnesota either. He's the one guy, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is amazing too. But Ant's the one guy that physically and just the way that he plays and attitude and everything that I think can will his team, to a championship. I think I'd like to see the Knicks in the finals. I think the Pacers series is going to be a war.
A war.
They're playing great. Halliburton's, totally turned his season around after starting off slow. But I want Knicks and Timberwolves in the finals. That's what I'm looking for.
I watch the Timberwolves, and all of a sudden back healthy is Julius Randle. What a difference. What a difference out there. All right. Well, listen, I want to thank you for coming on.
Anytime.
It's been great. We're going to have you back. We'll have you back when we start watching some Lobo basketball.
Sounds
it's
good.
going to be interesting. I want to thank everybody for joining us. I want to thank my producer, Adrian from, let's see, where's he from today? Long Beach. Steve Davis up the stairs, the president of ProView, who gives us this opportunity to come to you every week. Again, you want to buy stock in the Lobos, 505sports.org. Check it out. We need your help. Let's keep this basketball thing rolling. We're about to get football rolling, but it's all on us to make it happen. 505sports.org. We'll see you next week. Cool.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. find it on Pro